Hello everyone, welcome back to this channel. Today we are discussing the GSEB unit test paper solution of subject Science Class 10. So you all know that the paper was very easy. It was of 25 marks. Total time given was 1 hour. There were 4 sections in the paper, namely A, B, C and D. Now, the syllabus was chapter 1, which was from chemistry, chapter 10, which was from physics, and chapter 6 and 15, that was from biology and natural sciences. Note that whatever answer right now we are going to discuss is not compulsory that they are the only answers. Accordingly, from the textbook or any other material, your teacher might evaluate your answers. Clear? So, now let us start. So starting with section A, in which it was do as directed, there were 4 questions of 4 marks. Now question number 1 was to identify the balanced chemical equations from the following options. So 1, 2, 3 and 4 different equations were given. Now we have to select the correct answer, whether all of them were balanced, first, third and fourth were balanced, only first and fourth are balanced, or first, second and third are balanced. Now one by one let us see. The first one is C plus O2. So just we will focus on the elements. Carbon, here we have 1, over here we have 1, so it is balanced. O2, here we have 2, oxygen 2, so this one is balanced. Now let us move on to next one, H2. So over here we also have H2, but here we have 2 oxygen but only 1 oxygen over here in the product, so it is not balanced. Let us go for the third one, 2 PbO. So 2 Pb, that means lead. 2 Pb is there on the reactant side, but only one Pb, only one atom of Pb, lead, is there on the product side. So this is also not balanced. Moving on to the last one. This one is little bit of big one. So let us see Fe2. So 2 molecules of iron over here, 2 iron, so balanced. 3 oxygen over here, also 3 oxygen, so oxygen is also balanced. What about aluminum Al? Over here you see 2 aluminum on this side and Al2 on this side, but what remaining is there? This carbon. This carbon is there in the react product but not in the reactant side, so we can conclude that this is not balanced, and only first is the balanced one. And all of the options, if you see, then none of the options are correct. So accordingly you will get marks if you have benefit of doubt. Now moving on to the next one. Identify me, I am the vessel which carries blood away from the heart to various organs of the body, and that vessel is known as arteries. Okay, and this was very easy. Moving on to the next one. The center of the reflecting surface of a spherical mirror. Center of the reflecting surface of spherical mirror is called pole of the mirror. So this statement is correct, right? So it is written that correct it. If it is incorrect, no need to do that because this statement is true, correct. Next is fill in the blanks. To make the given statement correct, the substances that are decomposed by biological process are called biodegradable substances. Okay, so this makes up your whole section A. Now moving to the next part, we have to write a balanced chemical equation for the following chemical reaction. Aqueous solution of common salt react with carbon dioxide and ammonia to form ammonium chloride and sodium hydrogen carbonate. So it seems to be a regular chemical equation, but don't forget that you don't have to write NaCl AQ for aqueous. You have to understand how we are making the aqueous solution. That means NaCl, that is common salt, plus water. So whenever you write equation in the reactant side, please write it separately: sodium chloride plus water plus carbon dioxide plus ammonia. So here we have NaCl plus H2O plus CO2 plus NH3. Now let us see what happens when the reaction occurs and ammonium chloride and sodium hydrogen carbonate are formed. So here we have ammonium chloride NH4Cl plus NaHCO3, right? So this is the main equation, balanced chemical equation for the following chemical reaction. How we can check whether it is balanced or not? Let us see. Elements I have written: sodium, chlorine, hydrogen, carbon, oxygen and nitrogen. So Na is there 1, and over here we have 1 Na. Cl we have 1 over here, Cl we have 1. H2 and over here H3. So how many? H5 in the reactant side, and over here we have got H4 plus 1 H, that means 5. So it is also balanced. C, that is carbon 1 on each side. So we have carbon 1 and 1. Oxygen, you see over here 1 and 2, 3. So 3 oxygen on reactant side and 3 oxygen on the product side. So it is also balanced. Nitrogen 1 we have over here and 1 we have over here. So overall, no need to write any number, no need to multiply anything. This equations in normal form is balanced. Clear? Moving on to the next one. We have section B over here, and question number 6 says that give the scientific reason small intestine of a lion is shorter in length than that of a deer. Now this question is of 2 marks, so maximum 4 points will be enough. Now the answer is lion is a carnivore who obtains nutrients from meat and flesh, whereas deer is a herbivore and it obtains nutrients from plants, and from plants means especially there is a specific carbohydrate called cellulose. Now meat is comparatively easier to digest due to presence of peptidase protein. See, in flesh and meat already that is from the body, so the biological value of that proteins and every nutrient is high, so they will be easily digested, right? So lions don't need a lengthy small intestine. However, cellulose digestion requires amylase enzyme, and the digestion process is very complex and it needs more time. So to compensate with that, the length of the small intestine is lengthier, right? Is bigger. So the more all the cellulose and digested parts remain inside, the more absorbing the intestine will be. So herbivores have longer intestine for complete digestion of cellulose obtained from plants. Clear? Now moving on to the next question. This one is from physics. Find the missing details in the below table, and there is a table given in which use is written, and then we have to state whether which kind of mirror or lens, which one is used. Also, if the object is placed at f focal length, what will be the position, nature and size of the image? So this is a very simple question, don't get confused. So we are starting from in the rear view in mirror in the vehicles we use convex mirror, right? We have pretty good reasons for that, we have discussed in our video. Now moving on to the next answer, that is position, nature and size of the image when the object is placed at focal length, right? So in the course we have discussed only two condition of convex mirrors. One was from infinity and other was in between infinity and pole. So we will assume that focal length is between the infinity and pole. So we have kept the object over here. You can see how is the image formed. However, this figure was not compulsory, but if you understand this figure you may write these things very easily. So you can see the object is forming between pole and the focal length behind the mirror. Nature virtual because we are elongating it on the back side. Erect, right? All virtual images are erect, and size you can see it is diminished. So this A will be the correct answer and this will be the answer for B. Moving to the next part. Fill in the missing details, same question, but now moving on to the second one. To observe minute part of the watch by watch repairer. So that is nothing but convex lens, which we also use as magnifying lens. And over here, if you put the object as f1, the following ray diagram will tell you that position of image will be at infinity. The nature, if in case the image is formed, the nature will be real and inverted, and size as the rays are meeting at infinite place, it will be highly enlarged. Now question number 8 is our Prime Minister Sri Narendra Bhai Modi launched a Gandagi Mukt Bharat program on 8th August. Explain in your own words how you would plan waste management to make such program successful. So this is a kind of essay writing that you are doing in your language subject, but you have to sound technical. Also, there are only 2 marks for this, so you may include 4 to 6 points for your answer. Gandgi Mukt Bharat is nothing but how we will manage our waste and garbage disposal. Okay, so right now I'm writing only 4 points. If you have included this in your answer, that is very nice. If you may include more points, then also it will be very good. Now the first point is household leftovers. We can always start with our house. Household leftovers can be utilized to make biogas. Also we can have compost pits for them. Sewage water that is going from all the households must be treated before it is disposed. Glass and plastic materials, those which are wastes, should be collected separately and then they must be reused and recycled. And that makes my fourth point, that is applying the formula of reduce, reuse and recycle. So these few important points will make your answer a perfect one. So question number 9 is answer the following. We have 3 questions. Why do we paint object made up of iron? That is the first one. Why is nitrogen gas filled in food packets containing oil and fat? That is the second one. And which processes are responsible for A and B? So let us start answering one by one. So the answer of first question, that why do we paint object made up of iron? You see, objects made up of iron when left for some time in moisture and air, it will develop coating of reddish brown color, which we normally called as rust, because it reacts with the moisture and air. The process is called rusting. Thus, to prevent the object made of iron from rusting, we paint the outer surface. So this will be the answer. Notice that this is 3 marks questions and 3 questions are there. So 1 marks each we have. So no need to elaborate anything. Second question is, why is nitrogen gas filled in food packet containing oil and fat? See, oxidation changes the taste and smell of food which specially contain proteins or fat. So what will happen? It will degrade the quality of the food. Hence, nitrogen gas is filled in food packet containing oil and fat to prevent the food from getting oxidized, right? Because no one will buy a degraded quality food. Okay. The process responsible for A is corrosion, especially rusting, and for B it is rancidity, which is nothing but an oxidation process. Moving on to question number 10. Now this one is very practical question again from physics. Take a big shining spoon, try to observe your face on its bulging backside convex surface, right? Now first is, do you see the image? Is it big or small? The answer is yes. We can see the image, and upright virtual image is formed which is small. And we have to note the distance also. So if you have done the practical or activity, you will write some of the measurements taken by your own. Uh, the virtual image of our face appears the correct way up when viewed in the back of the spoon because it is erect image. Now the second part was, take the spoon away from the face. Does the image get inverted? The answer is no, the image will not get inverted. Now question number 11 is very interesting. Ozone molecules are constantly formed and destroyed in the atmosphere. A picture which is actually a cartoon showing how ozone molecules are formed is shown below. So you can see O2 molecules are there, and the UV rays, they are splitting the O2 molecules, converting them into O and O, and then the remaining O's which are separated, they mixed with again O2 and form O3, right? So it is splitting and grouping. Okay. Now a family member of yours who have never studied about this tries to understand this cartoon picture but is unable to understand it. He knows that there are no such living forms, right? There are right now, they are treated as living bodies, right? You can see their legs, their eyes, nose and all. So he is not able to understand the names like O, O2 and O3 and also the process explained. So how would you explain it to that family member? State in your own words. Now here your ability to form up stories will be very helpful. Since the family member isn't aware of the technical and scientific logic behind it, let me make up my own story to explain this, and I have made 2 different stories. I have tried to make it very simple. so that that family member who is not aware of this understands. So the first story goes like this. There are so many pair of good friends who enjoy company of each other. That means O2 molecules I'm asking. And having fun together, but due to some external reasons, you see the UV rays, due to some external reasons, the pair breaks up and becomes lonely. So now O2 is split into O. So now they are lonely. But as they are missing the fun, they couldn't remain alone, so they separately joined other pairs, each to become the trio of friends. So those pairs which were remaining, O2 and O2, they will take the separate O and form O3. So that is why I wrote that those alone oxygen, they missed the fun, they couldn't remain alone, so they separately joined other pair to become trio, that means O3. So likewise, the formation and breaking of groups and friendship continues. Okay. Another story is a bit different story. Again, I have started with, suppose there are many companies having two partners and doing business very nicely. But due to some financial and external reasons, the partners broke up and became separate. Now you see, company needs partner to divide the work and run successfully. But if they are breaking up, if they are separating, one man alone cannot do the business. So that is why after breaking up, after separating, they cannot handle and continue with the businesses alone. So what they do, separately they decide to join other pair of partners to form comparatively big companies. Okay. So thus this separation and combination of partnership continues and the trade and commerce goes on in the market. So this is THUS, thus do not write do DOES, right? Okay. So just like that, two companies having two partners, that means O2. External reason, again UV light. Partners broke up, that means oxygen and oxygen molecules. Now they decide to join other pairs, that means O combines with O2 to form big companies O3. So this is my part of story that I have written. Two stories I have given. So this is story 1, friendship, and this is story 2, partnership. Okay. Hope it helps. Moving on to the last part, that is draw a label diagram showing internal structure of human heart, that is of 2 marks. You can see over here we have a colorful figure. No need to put colors specifically if you are drawing with your pencil, but few things very important you have to draw, like the first 4 thing: right atrium, left atrium, right ventricle, left ventricle. So that is why 4 chambered heart we are saying. Then the flow of blood, which kind of blood? Oxygenated and deoxygenated. So that is why you need pulmonary artery, pulmonary vein, right? Then you have to show aorta, then superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, and if you want to include valves as well, you can write them, but that again is not necessary, right? So veins, arteries, and atrium and ventricles are enough for getting 2 marks perfectly. So I hope you all have drawn perfectly. And the last one, explain in short about 4 organs of human excretory system. 2 marks is there. So one statement about each organ will be enough. So starting with kidneys. Kidney is the reddish brown bean shaped structure located towards the back of the abdominal cavity, one on each side. Talking about ureters, they are the thin muscular tubes coming out from the kidney and opening up into urinary bladder. What are urinary bladder? It is an empty sac-like structure in which urine is collected and stored temporarily. Urethra, they are the ducts which transfer urine from urinary bladder to outside the body. So this was all about the question paper solution. Notice the spelling mistakes and correct as per your understanding. So I hope the paper was easy for you and you all have written perfect answer. So that's it for this video. Thank you for watching.